Hello and welcome to the I Love You But podcast. I'm Heather and this is my sister.
Ryan. Each week we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us.
Sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back on our past to say, I love you, but... How'd you waste time this week, Heather Davis?
Ryan Davis, I'm going to start with the funny one.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the annoying one.
And
then you can tell me how you wasted time. Does that sound like a good game plan?
Sounds great.
So yesterday evening, about 4:00, an Amazon truck showed up with a slender package, unexpected, addressed to Mom and Dad. And so I was like, hey, Mom, you got an Amazon package. And I kept doing whatever I was doing. The next thing I know, she goes, oh, Mark, Dave sent us a CD by that band I asked him about. So let's rewind a little bit. Evidently, Mom was reading a profile about the band The National in the New Yorker. And she thought their lyrics were very poetic. And she thought she might like their music. So she asked Dave if he had heard The National, because she doesn't actually know what kind of music Dave listens to. And Dave said, no, I've heard good things, but I haven't heard them. And then the next thing we know, a CD shows up. And I was like, I know about The National. You do?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're sad dad rock. You put it on to go to sleep. They would just speed everything up like 25%. They'd probably be my favorite band. They're too slow. And she was like, oh. And I was like, and remember, anytime you want to listen to music, I can show you how to listen to it.
Like,
so then I said, and also, how are you going to listen to a CD, Mom? You don't own a CD player. Like, are you going to take the CD back over to Dave's house and be like, hey, Dave, thanks for the CD. Can we listen to it together?
It's like he might as well send her the vinyl.
So then today...
She has a CD player in her car, doesn't she?
Well, she doesn't have her car because today we took her car to the Ford place to get it worked on. So I had Dad in the car with me because he can't be left alone. And we drive out there and then I key up Spotify. This is The National. She gets in the car and I'm like, here, Mom, this is The National. Listen to it all the way home. And I was
like, how are you playing the CD?
What do you think, Mom? What do you think about The National? Oh, I don't know. I was just really interested. I mean, their lyrics were just so beautiful and moving. I said, You know the thing about music that makes it music? Is the music.
That's just poetry.
Just because the New Yorker says they're good doesn't mean they're interesting.
Or that you'll like them.
Objectively, they're a great band. Many people I know like them, especially dads. You know, it's fine. It's great. You get to like them more than I do. I'm never going to go to their concert. You're always going to get tickets. I'm fine. It's fine.
You should tell her to send that to Ben for Father's Day.
He needs sad dad rock. Well, he probably does since he thinks there's no good rock music coming out. He's wrong. The National are good rock music if you want to fall asleep.
I don't think that it's rock music then.
It is rock music. Technically. All right. So
how is that a waste of your time? I don't understand.
Well, no, it's just funny. How is it not a waste of my time?
I mean, Mom and Dad are just a waste of your time, like full stop.
I know. I'm trying really hard not to say because it's much easier to cut silence than it is to find ums and cut them.
Yeah, you can't do like a control F with the audio.
Like, can Chat GPT find all my ums and cut them out? What's the point of this fucking thing?
That'd be amazing.
So earlier this week, Dad got some bee in his bonnet and he was feeling good. And he was like, I'm going to fix up the greenhouse. And we were like, whoa, he's going to do a handyman thing. And he did. And we were confused. And then he started moving all his shit into the greenhouse. And we were no longer confused because as a narcissist, he was doing something not for the good of all of us, but so that he would have a little summer hut to hang out in. So that's fine. Well, they've been threatening rain for like 2 weeks now. Every day it's like 40%, 70%, 50%. I think we've had 2 rainstorms and it's been like every single day it's going to rain. So he was all moved into his greenhouse and very stressed because it was quote unquote going to rain and there was a crack in the ceiling and we needed to seal it up. So
he could sit in his greenhouse and smoke and not get
hot and listen to music really loudly. Yes. And, but stage 4 cancer, what are you going to do? So Mom took him to the wonderful little Ace Hardware here in town. You don't have to sponsor us. I think they're a great place. It's just a fact. And they got this goop that I guess you're supposed to use on the outside of your house. Like if you got a pipe coming out of the brick and you put the goop in and it fills it up and seals it and it's waterproof and it's great goop, right?
Why didn't they just get a fucking tarp?
So here's the thing. Starting May 1st, I've tried not to have any refined sugar. Now, I have not succeeded at this, but I have had significantly less sugar than I'm used to having. So my brain right now is super dumb, because it's used to having like, oh, I need to figure something out. Boom, got it. Got the energy I need to figure it out. And now it's like, oh, I need to figure, oh, God, I'm tired. Oh, God. I gotta convert some energy into something usable. I don't have any of that quick energy. And I mean, by that time, I like forgot what I was doing. I'm told I'm doing this for my health. This is not some crazy quote unquote diet. I'm in the 80s. I gotta be on a diet. This is hey, if you want to have a functioning liver for the rest of your life, cool it with the sugar toots. Okay. So trying to do this, I'm told after 30 days, your brain's supposed to be better than it was on sugar, right? But right now, my brain is really... This
is your brain.
Yeah, this is my brain off sugar, and it's really fucking stupid. So, Mom leaves. It's the end of the workday. I still have work to do, but it's the end of the workday. Dad's like, help me put this thing up. I'm going to get on the ladder. So I'm just going to spot him on the ladder. I spot him on the ladder. He gets up there. Well, you know how gravity works?
Wait, I'm sorry. The man that falls down walking across the hall to go to the bathroom, y'all let him get on a ladder?
I was there.
To call 911?
The goop fell down because the goop was on the ceiling and it fell down. And so then he figured out he could do it slowly, but then he's like, I'm dizzy. And I'm like, all right, get off the ladder. I'll do it. So I get up there and then I'm like, I need a spatula thing. So he gets me like a spatula thing. Somehow the shit gets all over my hands. And I don't think it's that big a deal because I still don't quite understand what this goop is. I'm thinking it's like the silicone shit that you like put in, you like to seal up the bathroom or whatever. So I'm not stressed about it.
You think it's caulk?
Uh-huh. Then I try to go in and wash my hands. And it's not coming off. And it's on my dress, and it's in my hair, and it's on my shoulder, and it's all over my hands.
What the fuck?
And I'm trying to get it off.
Everywhere.
It was everywhere. And I'm trying to get it off, and I'm trying to get it off. And then, of course, every time I try to wash my hands, because I'm wearing the dress, it's getting on me more. And then I need to touch my glasses, but I can't touch my glasses because my hands are covered in goop. And I'm really mad and wish I had had some sugar or more boundaries so I could tell Dad no. And then I'm like, fuck it. So I go and I turn the shower on in the whole bathroom and I'm so frustrated. I'm washing my hands. I keep getting goop on me from my dress. So I just peel my dress off. So I'm standing there. I managed to gingerly take my glasses off in my underwear with socks, standing in standing water, because also that shower hasn't been draining. And I'm not helping the situation because I'm trying to wash goop down it, but I don't even care. And it got to that point where I was so frustrated. I didn't have to cry. I could have not cried. But I made a conscious choice. You know what? I'm going to fucking cry. And I bawled and bawled and bawled, and then realized that this wasn't doing shit. So I managed to go and get these like crappy towels that we can just throw away, and like get one to wrap my hands in and make myself a mummy. And I'm still just like in my underwear and now wet socks in my room on my bed, curled up in the fetal position, wrapped up like a mummy, sobbing. And your father comes in and is like, "Ooby dooby dooby doo." I'm like, get out. Get out. I am not going to say anything nice to you. I'm only going to hurt your feelings and make it worse. Get out. Oh, and you won't believe the classic narcissist that happened that led into all this. As I got into the house, I was like, I can't believe I did this. I don't know why you have to do this shit and get us involved. Well, you're the one who climbed on the ladder. Said, "You are such a fucking narcissist." I'm not a narcissist. You're a narcissist. You can't gaslight me, narcissist. And then the worst part of the whole thing, I finally got over it. Everything dried and I was able to scrape it off. So I was peeling shit off of my hands like Ali Sheedy in fucking The Breakfast Club, like shaking her hair dandruff out. And I'm peeling my skin. I finally get it all off. I still got a little bit on my nails, but it's white. I'm white. It's fine. Yesterday, I go out, motherfucker has put a goddamn tarp on the roof. And I was like, Sugar Brain would have gone earlier in the week. Just put a fucking tarp on it. But no, I had to go through all this nonsense and drama. And then I had to stay up late that night because all that shit happened and finish this email thing for work that I then had to spend the next 3 hours of the next day working on with my boss, only to find out yesterday they're not even going to send that email out. Why do I bother with anything? What is the point? So how'd you waste time this week, Ryan Davis? Did you finish Queen Charlotte?
No, I did not. Hold on. Before that, okay. Until you reach your 30-day or whatever.
Yeah.
If Dad asks you to do something, will you please text me or call me?
Yes.
So that I can give some advice, some thought. Just Dad, not everything. Just Dad and Mom shit.
He was complaining today while I was driving him out to the Ford place with Mom following us. And I was like, I don't understand why you're complaining, man. Like you made the best choice in a wife. She is such a pushover. She is such a pushover. You would not still be married if you had married pretty much anyone else. What? She is just a compassionate person.
That is not true.
I said, and I'm not a compassionate person? No, you're mean. Because another thing I wasted time on this week is someone I work with who I actually don't like that much, but, you know, I've known her a long time, also has stage 4 terminal cancer, is undergoing aggressive chemo, and her whole care situation is a mess. So I've been trying to, like, fix that. And so I'm like, hey, what about all the stuff I've been doing for this work person? You still going to tell me I'm not a compassionate person? Well, no, but that means when I ask you to do something and you say no, I'm going to say, but you do it for her.
What the fuck? Jesus God.
What's wrong with your brain?
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, please, like, when you don't see us crying at this man's funeral or whatever bullshit wake we have for him, like, please don't.
Here's what we're going to do.
I'm so tired of people thinking that we're assholes because of how we treat him. Like, I'm so tired of it.
I know.
Like,
honestly, no one's voiced that in a while.
Yeah, but there was a lot of years there where
yeah, but they didn't know. Because Mom's such a pushover and she's all like keeping up appearances, so nobody could really know what was happening in the marriage. Like,
but like we aren't assholes to anybody else. Like you did, I mean, well, not like them. That's whatever.
We're kind of dicks to everybody. I mean, but we are compassionate people.
We're very compassionate people. So
it's true.
I don't know. Like, how did I waste time this week? I went to bed at 7:30 last night and woke up at 8:30 this morning. So
that's self-care, though.
I know. That's why I'm like, all of my stuff, I'm like, it's like going to the mall to get Elliot his like Patty Build-A-Bear and vomit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, kind of seems like a waste of time, but it's not, because now he doesn't. Although he found one in the backseat of Ben's car today on the way home.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And like he was mad about leaving we left the birthday party, and he was really mad about it. And he's like, I want my Patty in my mouth. And then like here's one way I wasted time. I like left there and realized I had left my purse, so I had to turn around and go back. I'm like, oh shit. So we'd just gotten him to calm down, and he handled it well. But then on the second time trying to go back home, he's like, oh, there's a Patty in the back of Daddy's car. He said, can I use it? No. Hand it to me. Thank you for asking. He was like, oh.
You know what's kind of funny about that? Do you remember the baby shower we had for you at Monique's house?
And y'all hid the patties everywhere.
The pacifiers hidden everywhere. Monique kept finding them at her house for months. Your kid is such a niffler. You're going to be finding pacifiers until he's like 18.
That is exactly what I said. I was like, Ben is like, now every pacifier that we have lost for the last 2 years are just suddenly going to be coming out of the woodwork. Like, fucking patties everywhere.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
What? And then when he was really upset, he was like, can you order more? It's like, no. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to.
We love you and we want your teeth to work, so no.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, mostly that's going pretty well. Tonight he came in, I was in the bathroom, and he came in with the Build-A-Bear, the $65 Build-A-Bear we bought to put the patty in, and like threw it on the bathroom floor, and then walked away, and then came back and then kicked it, and then walked back.
Ew.
Like, I was like, okay, better the bear than me, I guess.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do to make yourself feel better, little man.
I thought when you're upset, you talk about your feelings. Isn't there a song about that?
Well, I don't think he was upset. I think he was like being funny. I don't know. He wasn't mad, so okay. I don't know. No, because when we talk about his feelings, and he's like, boring. I don't waste time.
All right.
No.
Well, cool. Let's just get into the movie.
Heather Davis, what do you remember about Peggy Sue Got Married?
It's going to be a real short list. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen Turner. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Time travel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. I didn't write down the names because that seemed fairly obvious to me. I had Making Pantyhose, Jack Keroauc Dude, Silly, Silver Dress, band playing, and Nick Cage singing. I remembered a lot about this movie. I loved this movie growing up. I liked this movie a lot, which makes sense because my other favorite movies were Grease and Bye Bye Birdie.
And Grease 2.
And
Grease 2. A classic.
Yeah, classic. And Cry Baby. So I definitely have some nostalgia for a period of time I did not live in, but desperately wanted to have lived through. And you know what? To me, this movie still holds up as, a fairly all right movie. It's not the best, but it's not as bad as some of the shit we've rewatched. I also wrote before Nicolas Cage sold his soul to Disney.
I did. The only thing that got me excited about watching this was I was like, oh, I bet Nick Cage is going to be weird in this. And he was. So I was excited about that. And then after we started watching it, I was like, wait, she's going to say something about the M&Ms. Like, I remembered that. But I feel like that was probably in the trailer or commercials, and I saw it a bunch. Because I honestly don't think I watched this movie maybe more than once or twice.
The M&Ms?
Yeah, the red M&Ms.
Oh, yeah. She's like, don't eat the red ones. Yeah, because there was like,
yeah,
cancer.
But she couldn't tell her why.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell her baby sister, Sofia Coppola. Oh, my God.
Was that Sofia Coppola?
Yeah.
She was so bad.
She was terrible.
I was like, terrible actress, younger sister. Like,
yeah. Did you see who directed this?
No, I don't pay attention to that.
Francis Ford Coppola. Would you like to know 2 of the biggest movies that he also directed? One's a little gem called The Godfather, and another one is called Apocalypse Now. And there's a bunch of other ones. And also, Peggy Sue Got Married. Maybe that's why he started making wine? Oh my God, this movie is so bad. Oh my God,
it gets bad, but it's...
The opening song was awful. Did I write it? It's so bad.
It's a Buddy Holly song.
No, it is not a Buddy Holly song. The Buddy Holly song goes, Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, Peggy, 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 Peggy Sue. The opening song of this song was like, Peggy Sue got married. It was so bad.
I'm pretty sure that was Buddy Holly, because I wrote, is this why I love Buddy Holly? Is because of this movie.
No, you love Buddy Holly because we listen to Buddy Holly music, and it's the jam.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt, who was 1 year younger than Nicolas Cage, who was playing her father.
I was going to say, I felt like Kathleen Turner was much older.
She was 10 years older than Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
But I mean, damn, she was 30 when she made this. Like, that's very impressive. She did not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're kind of used to teenagers looking old because of Grease and shit like that, but still.
Yeah.
Like,
no. She definitely looked older than everybody else in the movie.
She did. She had beautiful skin. I was very jealous.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, and of course the voice.
Yeah, she's got a great voice.
Have you ever been to a high school reunion?
No. I put my own on, remember? So I don't see people I wanted to see.
Like, do people still do this? Like, do they still have high school reunions like this?
Yes.
Like, really? Like, like the ones we grew up watching on TV and like roaming in movies like this?
Yeah,
like,
I think for people with like, if you have enough type A people whose best time was high school, then you get reunions like this.
Ugh, God.
And I think a lot of the schools are doing things like take like 4 years of people or 5 years of people and group them together so that they can have a bigger reunion. But I do feel like in general, I have no statistics to back this up, but I believe there are statistics that could back it up. People are much more migratory than we used to be. Like more people stayed closer to home back in the day. And now people are pretty mobile.
Yeah.
It's harder to get back.
Well, because it's also like homecoming is also supposed to be like when everybody comes back.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. I'm like, people were this like all about high school. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there are still people that
I really liked obviously the costumes, the cars. Oh, the cars were pretty. The outfits were awesome. I really liked when she said, got drunk and was like, I'm gonna go to Liverpool and discover the Beatles.
That was pretty funny. I do feel like, though, for the number of like the knowledge she would have had, the number of like references to things from the future, they really missed out on like a bunch of like what it could have been really funny jokes to prop this movie up a little more. But what are you gonna do?
I don't think it was supposed to be like a super funny movie.
Well, that's good. Because it wasn't. I was like, oh, of course she's going to go to the nerd to ask about time travel. Of course. Great. Perfect.
Well, she had just seen that he became like a super genius. Like, who else is she going to ask?
Well, I mean, he was in the robotics club, but I also felt a little bit disappointed in that because if he were in the robotics club in 1960, he definitely would have read a lot more science fiction and would have had a lot more to say about time travel. Like, he never warned her, like, don't do anything because you might make a mistake and then you won't have children in the future. Like, he never said any of that shit.
No, he he tried to get her to do shit. Like, he was like, marry me. Like,
exactly.
He was like trying to blow her life up. Mr. Time is a burrito.
I did like the deliberate like that she knew what a burrito was, but she wanted to know what the theory was, and he was like, Disney or whatever. That did make me laugh.
Yeah, that was funny.
Like, that was the only thing that was intentionally funny that made me laugh.
What did you think of Nicolas Cage's 3-part plan? To one, start to see other people. 2, comparison shop. And 3, settle down and get married.
Yeah. There were many, like at one point I just started writing down quotes because he was such an asshat and so was everyone else.
Such an asshat.
You know, one thing I did think was interesting, and I noted that this was written by a man and a woman. They appear to be writing partners. I've looked them up. They wrote a handful of movies together that all looked really terrible. So I'm glad they had each other. I wish they had also had a little more talent. But one of the things I did notice about this film was that Kathleen Turner and some of the other characters were very good about talking about their emotions, speaking of Daniel Tiger. It was actually impressive how well they were. Like, the emotional vocabulary was expansive, and there was a whole lot of just talking about, you know, recognizing like, oh, well, right now you're feeling rejected, so you're acting in this way and whatever. It's just like, he's say 18 or whatever. Like, he doesn't know anything.
I want to read the book about kite construction.
Do you? Sounds like a great book. I wrote some lines down from when they were in the car together, when she's trying to seduce him.
Oh my God, that was so painful. Like,
he says, your eyes are like silver pools of moonlight and the tide rushes in. What does that even mean? Literally, as a metaphor, it makes or simile, whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
This is like when I was talking about that one student who was reading all the things he was texting to that girl that were, and like it was like shit like this. Like, it was straight shit like this.
Yes. No, there's more later because Michael was a real piece of work with all that shit. Then,
oh my God,
Kathleen Turner starts trying to get him, and she says, "You're throbbing thrill hammer."
Little Charlie, or whatever, crazy Charlie, I don't remember. And then he goes,
"You mean my wang?" Which is just a funny line. But the fact that he seems so horrified that that's what she's talking about.
Like, how is that not a meme? Like, Nick Cage going,
"You mean my wang?"
Like, scoff, because like all he does is scoff through this movie. You mean my
just
wang?
one long bad Elvis impersonation, so bad.
I mean, it was like, I mean, it feels like more like a Dion, and like he's such a mouth breather and
Yeah.
so nasally.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. He's
is
got
that
that
just
nasally, soft voice that I just
him?
can't listen to. I cannot. I don't.
I liked when her mom was like, "Stay away from his penis." You know what a penis is. Stay away from it.
I did like in the car scene again. He's like, "That's a guy's line." Like he's so
Oh yeah,
upset that she's
yeah.
upsetting the gender
If you
norms, and
love
I'm
me,
like,
you won't, and you'll love me, you will.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Clutch those pearls, honey. Come on." Then I guess we should hold on. If you haven't seen Peggy Sue Got Married, it's about a woman who's going through a divorce.
Oh shit, we didn't do the synopsis.
For some reason, she brings her daughter as her date to her 25th high school reunion. It's 1985. She graduated high school in 1960. She and her husband were the prom king and queen, and she gets crowned queen again and gets a little hazy and weird and faints, and then wakes up as a senior in high school in 1960 and has to relive her life. Therefore, she's kind of horny for her husband, especially because he's like 25 years younger. And also, she's like, I'm going to play the field. And she talks to a nerd to try to figure out if it's time travel or if she's dead.
Yes.
And mildly entertaining scenes ensue.
Mildly entertaining. Man, the donut hole was hopping.
I want to go to the donut hole diner.
I want to go to the donut hole. Yeah. Yeah. No more Jello for me, Ma.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Oh man, he had some good ones.
Oh my God.
So one of the guys that she ends up fucking is this guy, Michael, what's his last name? Something. Fitzsimmons. Michael Fitzsimmons. And he also has terrible hair. All of them have terrible hair. Like
terrible hair.
Terrible hair. Kathleen Turner, great hair. All the women, great hair. All the men, terrible hair. He's like a beatnik and he's like edgy. And all I could think about was like, I'd rather be watching that movie with Jennifer Aniston, where she kind of has an affair with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's like, "My name is Holder."
Oh, the good girl.
Whatever. He's like, all
he calls himself Caulfield,
and all that. Or I'd rather be watching Lady Bird with Timothée Chalamet doing the exact same thing. Like, it's like, I'm just a misfit and I know what's going on and I'm hip and everybody else is a sheep and blah, blah, blah. I wear black and I pretend to be poetic or whatever. Mm-hmm. I could not. I appreciate it in the diner. He gave the hate to Hemingway. I appreciate it. I love it. Throw the
and in the class, he was hating on Hemingway.
But
then he had a big old hard on for Jack Kerouac. He's
huge hard on for Jack Kerouac, and I will tell you, this is my experience with Jack Kerouac. You got to read on the road. You got to read on the road. You got to read on the road. I start reading on the road, page 1 or page 2. Oh man! And then somebody yawned. Yawning. That's just like complaining. I was just like, no, yawning is the thing that happens when you're tired. And I put the book down and I never picked it back up again. Fuck you, Jack Kerouac. Then I thought about this too so after the diner where she meets up with Michael the beat. He takes her out into this field on his motorcycle and there's the beautiful stars above and whatever. And she says, "Michael, you're as good as you always looked." And I thought, would we be bothered if a male character said that to a female character?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, a little bit of exploitation, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Then he said, a ray of oneness piercing the solitude. And I was like, whatever, say whatever you want to him. He's an idiot.
He said a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, he
And
did.
then later on, when he's like, let's go to Utah, and she's like, Utah? Like, why not Paris or New York? And he's like, I got this other chick in Utah, and you two could raise the chickens while I write and take care of me.
Uh-huh.
Polygamy's legal there.
Yep.
Like,
his three-step
all
plan
of
was
you.
just as fucked up as Nick Cage's three-step plan. Like, these guys are idiots.
All of you and your fucking three-step plans. White sweater with the plaid pants. Jesus
Yeah, the
God.
pedal pushers were great. But hold on, I got two more things before we leave the lovemaking scene with Michael, the beat.
Okay.
I like that Yeats got the job done. His array of oneness piercing the solitude, not so much, but he quotes Yeats and yep, that did it. And then right before he's going to make love to her, he says, I'll respect you for eternity. And then I rat puked. Which is only funny if you've seen the movie, because before that, he's making up a poem for her and he keeps talking about rat puke. She's like, this isn't really doing it for me. And then he says the Yeats. And then he says, I'll respect you for eternity. And I threw up. And the next day, she's wearing a little sweater set with some really cute pedal pushers. And one of her friends says, Michael Fitzsimmons doesn't look like the barbecue type.
We're all gonna live next door to each other, and our kids are gonna go over to parties every Sunday, and Michael Fitzsimmons looking up barbecue type.
And then we get into the very problematic base room scene.
Oh my God. Hush, baby, hush. Ugh, God.
He shook her.
Oh, that was in the thing. Oh, yeah. And
And then he almost hit her. And she's like, I don't like it when you're sarcastic. And I'm like, sarcastic? He almost decked you. Like, what are you talking about, sarcasm?
So, like, he snuck over to her house?
Yes.
In his pajamas?
Correct.
Like, he couldn't even get dressed?
I thought that was weird, too.
Like, and then he talks about, like, I had a miserable time tonight because of you. But you weren't so miserable that you couldn't, like, get into your pajamas.
He was so miserable he couldn't get out of his pajamas.
But it was like a party or something. I don't know.
But what a narcissist, right? I had a miserable time tonight because of you.
Yeah, no, I know. The whole thing is narcissist, but it's like he's taking over in his pajamas, and then it's like his hands are all weird as he's going into a room, and he's like, let's go down to the basement. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's when I said he was practicing to play Dracula. Which he did in Renfield.
And which he did at the beginning of the movie. Which
he did it in the beginning of the movie too.
I love your blood.
He has wanted to play Dracula since
but no, he was a vampire, remember? Wasn't he in that other movie?
Yes, he was in some other movie where he was a vampire, yes.
Yeah. Love Bites. Why is this the shit I can remember? Can't remember the fucking amendments in the Constitution.
Was that him or was that Jim Carrey was in Love Bites, right?
Oh shit, that was Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Nick Cage has been in a vampire movie, but maybe he just always acts like a vampire, and now he officially has been a vampire. I don't know.
Yeah. No one treats Charlie Bodell like this.
I wrote the basement scene. I'm the man. Why are you arguing with me?
With me. Oh my God, I wrote that one down too.
Fuck you.
Oh my God.
And then I just wrote, he is such a terrible actor with a weak voice.
Oh my God. I've got the hair. I've got the eyes. I've got the car. I'm the lead singer. This is a job interview? Fuck out of here.
The job interview to be her husband forever.
You don't know Zip. I'm gonna be just like Fabian. And like when he does the thing with fucking, or not Dion or whoever in the car, when he like puts his visor down and he's got the like picture of like Fabian or Dion there, and he's like doing his fingers like, give me the juice. give me the juice. I see you. Give it to me. I was like, that is like he probably put that in there. He was like, Francis.
That's right. Uncle, I got this real good idea, Uncle.
Got a great idea. Just
there was finally good music when they went to like the Black Club or whatever it was.
Yes.
Where all the Black people in town were.
And somehow we're like, sure, white boy, you can sing with us.
Yeah, it was like, who let that white boy on stage? But here's the thing. I would like to mention that the most realistic thing in this movie, and that I wish would happen in more movies because it is so painfully awkward, when you're wearing a dress and you have to move around the half circle booth. So you're like,
even not in a dress.
Whatever. If you're wearing anything and you have to like move around the half circle booth, like
it's no dignified way to do that.
There is. It's like, why did they make those? They're terrible. Everybody has to move if you need to get out. Like,
yeah,
they're the worst kind of seating. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I get that it's cozy, but you should have, like, if you're gonna have that, then have a table that you can like roll in and out.
Yeah. That would be fine. That would solve the problem.
Problem solved.
But no, it's scoot, scoot, scoot.
Yeah, like bouncy, bounce, scoot, bouncy, bounce, scoot. I loved her drinking Miller High Life and like every saying that this where she was drinking. I mean, I will say after that basement scene when she starts smoking a cigarette, I also wanted a cigarette. I was like, I would also like one of those, please. I wrote down Nick Cage is not a good actor.
Accurate.
And then the movie jumps the shark. Like when she goes to see her grandparents.
Oh God. I couldn't. Literally the last thing I wrote was about him, like who let the white boy on stage. And after that, I watched the rest of the movie. I didn't write a goddamn thing down. It was so bad.
So she's like, I'm going to go to my grandparents because I love them and they're dead. So she's like talking to her grandparents, or her grandmother's like, I know when I'm going to die. So she's like, you know what? Maybe I can tell them the truth. And she does. And then somehow that translates into her going to visit her grandfather's lodge, which is like a Masonic lodge, which was just ridiculous, like,
and inaccurate, because if it were 1960 and she had gone to her grandpa's like social lodge, all those old men would have been flirting with her and hitting on her and pinching her ass. Like, that is what would have really happened. Not we'll help you get back to your real time business.
I definitely wrote down the lodge. What the fuck? This movie jumped the shark. When he takes her and he's like, they were gonna vaporize you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When he physically removes her from a space against her will.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. Again.
Her future husband. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't write much else other than the chest hair.
Yeah.
And the ending was very Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And you were there. And you were there. I didn't hate it as much as some things we rewatched. Will I ever watch it again? Probably not.
I mean, if you want to watch like a weird thing, like with the Masonic thing, it's like watch Dude, Where's My Car? If you want to watch something for the nostalgia and the punk rock girl, watch Grease 2. If you want to watch a good Francis Ford Coppola movie, watch The Godfather. If you want to watch a good Sofia Coppola movie, watch any of her other movies that she made after the one with Scarlett Johansson. That one was good. And Virgin Suicides, that one was good. I think she made some shit before that. But Virgin Suicides and later, Sofia Coppola made good movies. But Kathleen Turner, apparently she had or has rheumatoid arthritis.
That's sad.
And so that's part of why she didn't act as much. But she did turn to the stage and won awards for playing Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Oh man, what I would pay to see that.
That would be amazing.
Was she not in our favorite weirdo version of Cinderella?
She was. She was the stepmother.
Excellent.
I can't wait till we get to watch that one.
I do love Kathleen Turner. She has said that the director from whom she learned the most was Francis Ford Coppola, presumably in this movie.
She was great. Like, she was great. You have to think she like,
with the writing that she was given,
and with what she had to work with,
and the constraints of both 1960 and 1985, and everyone else that was around her,
movie,
quote unquote, acting.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing I love about Kathleen Turner, she's not like super rail thin.
Yeah, no, I love that too. Yeah. She's kind of like, she's like Florence Pugh. She's kind of just soft.
Yeah. I mean, she's not like, I wouldn't like, I'm not like chubby or fat or any of that.
No,
she's just
soft. So we have a few themed episodes coming. We're going to do Back to the Future for Memorial Day weekend. And then we'll have a couple more episodes. We got a special episode coming up for Father's Day, special episode coming up for Pride. For Independence Day, we're going to have another blockbuster, Ghostbusters. Yay! Then we'll have another blockbuster in July, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And we will end our summer blockbuster series in August with The Goonies. I'm getting faces, y'all.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is so icky.
I don't know what to tell you. Get drunk so you can handle it. It's not. It's fine. You probably don't even remember which one Raiders of the Lost Ark is.
I remember which is the first one.
No. Temple of Doom is the first one.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Temple of Doom is the gross one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is the one with the Nazi. They were the Raiders, remember? And that's why it was really funny when Ryan High School, where we graduated from, they were like, oh, we have to come up with a mascot. We're going to be the Raiders. And they made the mascot look like Indiana Jones. And I was like, guys, the Raiders were the Nazis. You're going to need to pick a different mascot. This isn't going to work. All right. So there we go. We did it. Peggy Sue got married. We're done with that. Thank you, anyone who is listening. That's it for this episode of I Love You But. Join us next week when we discuss Back to the Future. What made you laugh? What made you cringe? What did we forget? What do you think we should be talking about? Are we not watching things you really want us to watch? Or are there incredibly funny things or important things that we've missed in the things we have watched? You got to tell us, okay? You can tell us in a review on Apple. You can tell us on our Twitter at I Love You Pod. You can tell us on Instagram at I Love You But Pod, or you can email us directly at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Listener email and comments could turn up in future episodes. So, if you want 25 people to hear what you have to say, bring it on.
Bring it.
And if you like us and you want us to have more money for self-care, be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan, and we send you lots and lots of conditional love.